Good morning to all my dear students. This is Kaveri teacher. In today's lecture, we will see uh, the topic is autumn. Autumn is a poem which is written by Mahakavi Kalidas and later it is translated by Professor A.W. Ryder. Uh, of autumn जो है वो कालिदास ने लिखी हुई थी एंड लेटर ही वाज ट्रांसलेटेड sorry Mr. Professor A.W. Ryder has translated it in English. So the Kalidas was very great poet. He was known as a well Sanskrit poem. He had written drama as well as poet. He was a well known classical Indian poet, and his Raghuvansham, then Shakuntala was a great literary which was written by him. So just known about we will see the detailed information about Kalidasa, who was the poet of this poem. Kalidasa was a classical Indian poet and playwright, widely regarded as the greatest poet and dramatist. In the Sanskrit language, he has written lots of literature. His poetry represents the height of Kavya style, as exemplified by his epic poem Raghuvansha and his lyrical poem by Meghduta. So Raghuvansha and Meghduta, these are very famous poem which is written by Kalidasa. His plays and poetry are primarily based on the Indian Puranas. It means the poem which he had written, it was like a religious poem related to the Puranas and Vedas. So the Raghuvansham and Meghaduta was very famous poem, as well as the Shakuntala was very famous poem which was written by Kalidasa. So this is some literature which was written by Kalidasa. Panchatantra and Raghuvansham, which is things which are written by Kalidasa in Sanskrit, and later Mr. Professor Ryder has translated it in English. So firstly we have to know the meaning of Kalidasa, the name of the poet Kalidasa. What mean by the name of Kalidasa? Kalidasa means the servant of Kali. It's a goddess in Indian religious. The goddess name is Kali. So the Kalidasa means the servant of Kali. So Ramayana and some all religious things which are written by the Kalidasa. Student, let's see the Professor Ryder, which known as the Sanskrit literature translator, and he was a very famous professor of Sanskrit at the University of California, best known for translating a number of Sanskrit works into English, including Panchatattva and Bhagavad Gita also. Bhagavad Gita also he had translated in English. So he was born at 1877 and died on 1938. Professor of Sanskrit, University California, translated his poem Autumn in English. Means autumn, which is mainly written by Kalidasa, but after Kalidasa, Professor Ryder had translated it in English. Basically, there are three stanzas in autumn poem. So let's see the one sentence which are said by the Ryder about the Kalidasa. What Ryder said about Kalidasa? Let's see. Rarely has a man walked the earth who observed the phenomena of living nature as accurately as he. Means he was the one of the greatest person, greatest evaluator, that he had observed lot of things on earth, that's create a scenery of living nature. So the language of writing, language of literature was very high, the style of very great of Kalidasa. Here Ryder want to say us Kalidasa's autumn is descriptions of the months of Ashwin and Kartik. Student, before starting the poem, we want to know what mean by autumn. So autumn is a falling of a leaves, the month where while the season while the leaves are falling, it's called autumns. In Hindi we can call it patjhad. Autumn means patjhad, पत्तों का गिरना. There are six seasons in India which are called equivalent to autumn. So Vasant, Grishma, Varsha, Sharad, Hemant and Shishir. This three, these six Hindu scriptures and six seasons according to it. So Vasant Ritu means spring season in English. Then second one is a Grishma Ritu, which called summer season. Third one is a Varsha Ritu, it's called a monsoon season. Then fourth one is a Sharad Ritu, it's called autumn season, which we have to learn in this poem about this autumn season. Fifth one is a Hemant Ritu, which called pre-winter season, and last one is Shishir Ritu, which called winter season. So these are some Hindu scriptures. We can call it this is six seasons. So about poem, autumn is a beautiful poem personifying nature, a beautiful young maiden. It gives birth to fresh nature, which is compared to a beautiful, graceful young girl who will soon become a lady. Listen student, this autumn season directly compared by the poet to a young woman or a young girl, because the season is very freshing, the season is very great. So let's see the some information about autumn season of India. We have to know about autumn season of India, what changes are made by this season in India. So let's see, as the rain start to decrease from the month of Ashwin, the autumn starts. The autumn start while the rain has decreased, means it gives a relief to us, uh, throwing the heavy rain, and that time the rain has decreased, and at the same month, means in Ashwin month, there is a starting of autumn season. The autumn comes as a relief from continuous rain, or a heavy rain. During autumn season, the cloud seems tired of raining. It drifts across the sky leisurely with its silvery head that looks like a huge mass of cotton. In that scenery, in that view, the thing like looks like a cloud, looks like a wear a huge mask on his face, like a cotton mask which are wearing on cloud's face. It was silvery, and it looks like very silvery scenario. The sky has erased its last trace of black stain and turns deep blue. Then suddenly in autumn season the sky will change in a blue, means the clouds has gone, and it will looks like a clear. The earth surface is covered with a wild shuli flowers. Indian autumn is called the season of velvet. The autumn season is called velvet season in India because lots of people love this season, which is so fond of tourists. Mostly in that season, birds are migrated from one place to another place, and that's why the people come out from to look the birds in this season. So that's why this season is called as a velvet season, and that's why it as at this time is not a hot but warm enough and comfortable. It was the harvest time of apples, and at the same time, means in the month of Ashwin and Kartik, uh, like a September to December. The autumn season is between September to December, and at that same time there was a harvesting time of apple, fairy pepper, rice, and other crops. The tourist hurries to enjoy the comfort of living warm days and visit the national parks with rare animals. And it lasts till the end of Kartik. So this is the uh, uh, information about autumn season, how the autumn season celebrated in India, and how the autumn season we can see the changes between nature in India. Student, seasons are very important element of our life. Its impacts on us, that what to eat by the season, we are changing the things by the season, like what to eat, what to wear. The moods also depends on the season, and the feel of all things, means in summer this mood will be changed, then the clothes will be changed, the eating style will be changed, so food, clothes, it's all depends on the seasons. So it's very important element of our life, that how to what to eat, what to wear, what to feel, what to food we have to taken in our meal. So it's all depending on the seasons. So let's see the autumn season. which is personified by a poet with a young girl. It's a direct comparison to a young girl. So let's see why the poet has described autumn season, or why the autumn season is personified like a girl. So there are lots of reason. I think that the color, the leaves are changing their colors in autumn season. Also the leaves looks like a fresh. Then the scent of that leaves are spreading everywhere in the nature. And also the nature is makeup, the nature is looks like a young girl, it's makeup on a beautiful face of that season. So these all things are showing us the hint that the poet has compared to the autumn season with a beautiful young girl which is unmarried. So this is the I think this is the reason that the poet has compared the autumn season with a young girl. So the autumn season, which is started between September to December, it's called a monsoon. Then starts in Ashwin and Kartik month, and in this season temperature has decreased. And also there is a good feel of rain has stopped and relief for a heavy rain. So let's see line by line translation by the poem, from the poem. In first stanza we will see the first two lines. The autumn comes a maiden far, in splendors and grass. Listen, student, the poet saying to us that autumn comes. When the autumn started, when the autumn season starts, at that time it looks like a maiden fast. Maiden means a unmarried girl, which is very beautiful and young. Means the poet was saying that autumn comes like a beautiful young girl late, beautiful and young girl, and it's a slenderness and grass. Slender means we too so slim or delicate, we can call it delicate. So autumn season is looks like a young and beautiful girl which is very slim and delicate, and also she is unmarried. So directly poet want to say us that autumn season is like a young beautiful girl. Then second next line, with nodding rice streams in here and lilies in her face. So this line, we will see this line, with nodding rice streams in her hair. The poet was saying us that the hairs. Now there are two pictures I have showing you here, that one is a rice stems which is looks like a hair of a beautiful girl, because it's it's moving by a wind, by a strong winds, and it looks like a girl's hair. So that's why the poet saying us the nodding rice stems is are looks like a hair which are a girl's hair, and it looks like a very charming, very great, and it's the very good scenario of that hairs. In the next line, the poet saying that, and lilies in her face. So and the lilies in her face means a beautiful girl, the young girl who was always wear a rose, wear a flowers in her hairs for looks like a beautiful. So as the same way autumn season is wear a lily's flower in her face to looks like a beautiful. So here is a picture of lily's flower. You can see the lily's flower here. Student, here lily's flower is a symbol of a love, care. Then this is a religious flower, it shows the wisdom and truth. So this is the symbol of truth and wisdom, and it's find in the northern hemisphere. It's find only in autumn season. So this is the lily's flower which he the autumn season has wear in her face to looks up beautiful. So on the departure of the rainy season, the autumn comes a maiden far in slender sand grass, with nodding rice stems in her hair and lilies in her face. Here are some difficult words meaning. Maiden means young girl who was unmarried. Then slenderness means so slim, and grace means beauty. So the poet want to say us that on the departure, on the exit of rainy season, on and the end of the rainy season means Varsha Ritu's end, the autumn means the Sharad Ritu comes by bringing the pleasure in the month of Ashwin and Kartik. While the autumn season comes, that time the climate has changed. The climate giving us lots of freshness, lots of positive thinking. So it gives a lots pleasure and happiness to us in our life. It bring a useful things in our life, and it change our mood. So that's why the autumn comes in a maiden fire. It looks like, that's why the season looks like a maiden fire. जैसे कि कोई एक गर्ल आती है तो हमारे जीवन में किस तरीके से क्या लाती है, खुशियाँ लाती है। एक यंग गर्ल देख के हम लोग किस तरीके से खुश होते हैं, ब्यूटीफुल गर्ल को देख के। एज द सेम वे द ऑटम कम्स एंड इट गिव्स अ हैप्पीनेस टू ऑल ऑफ अस. So the poet appreciate that the autumn season is looks like a young girl, which is slim and attractive and beautiful girl. A student, the autumn season is looks like a slim and attractive girl. So in this season, the crop of rice is ready to ripe. Just we have seen that the season, this time is harvesting time of many crops like apple, then rainy, or yeah, then yeah, rice and all. So that's why in this season the crop of rice is ready to ripe, and thus the teenage stalks of ripe moves here and there, and it's look because of the wind, and it's started the lilies start to bloom. The scent of the flowers spreading here everywhere here and there. So it looks like the scented bloom, the scented flowers which had wear in the years of the autumn to looks like a beautiful. Here the poet describes that the autumn girl becomes beautiful due to the rice tints. The beauty of the young woman, young girl, which is give us lots of beautiful scenario. It looks like a attractive because of rice stems. The beauty of the, they beautify her hair. Her hair means hair is comparedly directly to the rice stems. The blooming of bright lilies are also playing their part of adorning her face. The rice stems also playing a major part, an important part in the girls means autumn seasons life, because it plays a major role. It's showing us the beautiful scenario of the autumn season by this. So next line, in flowers of grasses she is clad, and as the moves along. Now, poet want to say us that while the autumn season has wear the lily's flower in her face to look so beautiful, afterward in these flowers, while he was clad means happy. Uh, so glad means happy, sorry. And as the moves along, and while it's walking alone, while it's walking single, birds greet her with their cooing glad. There are a lots of birds we can see in this season, and people always come out from home to look, to see, to watch the birds in this season, because birds are making very beautiful sound. Cooing glad means, cooing means the sound is very beautiful, which is made by the uh, made by the birds in this season, like a bracelet's tinkling song. And this sound which was made by the bird, it looks like a tinkling song. It's hearing like a tinkling song, like a bracelet song. So first one we have to see, clad means wear, pehenna. In the flower grasses she clad, so she had dressed the flowers dress, and it looks like a very beautiful. And as the moves along, and after wearing that flowers dress, and after wearing these all beautiful things means the lily's flower in her face, after uh, after that it looks like a very beautiful, and it's making a beautiful sound like a cooing means, cooing is a melodious song which is made by the words. And it's greet means wish karna, welcome karna. It greet everyone, and the birds are greeting us. The birds are welcome this season, this autumn season, by making their beautiful sound of cooing. So you all have heard that sound, which is made by many birds. So it's hearing, it gives us a effect like a bracelet tinkling sound. Tinkling means a light and clear ringing sound, which is made by the bangles. Okay. So in the flowers of grasses she is clad, and as she moves along, birds greet with their cooing glad, like a bracelet's tinkling song. Student, the earth actually becomes green in rainy season. We all have experienced this, that the earth looks like a green everywhere in the rainy season, in Varsha season, in monsoon season, because of the grass. But as the autumn comes, but while the autumn season came, at that time the flowers bloom on it. That time, on the greenery, on that green grass, we can easily see the beautiful flowers which we can easily find in everywhere, and the bloom of that flowers spread everywhere in that autumn season, and it's looks like very beautiful to our eyes. So the flowers of grass looks like a dress of that girl, and the flowers which was spread everywhere in the autumn season, and it's looks like a autumn season means the girl's dress. The dress which was wear by the girl means the autumn season's dress. It looks like a autumn season's dress. So as she moves along, means after passing some days, after starting some days of autumn season, it's the welcome by the birds, and she is welcomed by the birds because the birds starting the singing by making a beautiful sound by them. And so it looks like a welcoming of that season, that girls, they create a sounds like the tinkling of the bracelets, which is so melodious to hear to us, and it gives a freshness to our mind, and the beautiful things are easily seen in the autumn season. So student, this is the first stanza. The autumn comes maiden far in slenderness and grass, with nodding rice stems in her hair and lilies in her face. The autumn season is looks like a maiden girls on the welcome, on the starting of the autumn season. The season looks like a young girl, and she was unmarried, and she is very slim. Also, the hairs of that girls are like a nodding here and there. Nodding means moving here and there. So the nodding hairs looks like with the rice stems, means rice stems, so it looks like a nodding hairs of that girl. And lilies in her face, there are a lily flowers, and the lily flowers looks like a beautify the girl's face by wearing it. So in flowers of grass she is clad, and he had dressed, she had weared a beautiful dress, grass dress, and on that grasses dress there are a small flowers, and it looks like a very beautiful. And she was moves along, and after wearing that dress she was walking alone. The birds greet her, the girl which have wear the dress of grass and with flowers, and the birds welcome her by making a beautiful sound, melodious sound, by making a cooing glad. So the all climate, the all season become very happy and fresh, and at that time the sound of that birds is looks like a bracelet tinkling song. So this is the first stanza of us. And student, this in this stanza poet describing us the picture of day timing, means in the first stanza the explaining of all things of a daytime, it's a day scenario during the day, it has explained. In the second stanza we have to see, and it's the picture of a night, and these all beautiful things we have seen in the first stanza, which was a daytime. But looks, the day night time is more beautiful than a daytime. And what is the reason behind it? So let's see. A diadem adorns the night. Diadem means the crown. So the diadem adorns means decorate करना. So the diadem, the crown जो है, जो which was wear by the girl, beautiful girl, by the season, and it looks like very beautiful, of multitudinous stars. Multitudinous means innumerable or uncountable. There are lots of stars which are uncountable, which was wear by the uh, autumn season, and the crown was made by the stars, and the stars was like a very bright, and it looks like very beautiful. The crown was very broad and beautiful, of a diadem adorns at the night. And why the autumn season had wear that diadem, that crown, it looks like very beautiful. It has decorated with a beautiful stars, and the silverness, the brightness of that beautiful stars, uh, more beautifying the beauty of the autumn season. But the stars, the multitude stars means uncountable stars, gives a impact on that diadem, on that crown. Her silken, her silken robe is white moonlight. Silken means the color, the brightness of the moon, which was on the uh, on the cloth of the autumn season. Means robe means a cloth, or we can call it a gown. So the silver gown which was wear by the autumn season, it's showing the white moonlight, mean the moonlight reflects on that gown, on that dress. It looks like that the autumn season has wear the gown, beautiful gown, and it's look like a silvery everything. It's impact on that picture. So her silken robe is white moonlight, set free from cloudy bars. And student, we have seen that the autumn season has started after the rainy season, after some heavy rain, after a continuous rain. In Ashwin months there is a starting of a autumn season, so that's why the clouds are clear here, and the dark clouds had passed, and that's why the cloud, the all nature is set very clear, and it looks like a we were set from set free from the cloudy bars. Bars means here patches. Actually bars का meaning यहाँ पे patches जो है, clouds के जो patch है, it's describing here like a patch. So the set free means make free from. We are free, make, we had made free from the cloudy bars, the cloudy patches which was made by the clouds. And on her face a radiant moon. So, a diadem adorns the night of a multitudinous star. Her silken robe is white moonlight, set free from cloudy bars. So, diadem already we have described it. Diadem means a crown, and then adorns means decorated. The diadem which we have seen, which was weared by the autumn season, and it's decorated with the stars, and it's gives us a more beautiful picture. So, of multitudinous star, her silken robe is white moonlight, set free from cloudy bars. Now the poet describes about the night. In first stanza, we have seen the picture of a daytime. So the poet describing the daytime picture in a first stanza. In second stanza, the poet want to explain us the beautiful picture of the autumn season at the night time. So now the poet describes about the night time in this season. Here the poet says that she has a crown. The autumn beautiful girl has a crown, and which was innumerable stars on her head. That crown was decorated with a uncountable star on her head, and it looks a magnificent effect on everywhere. It uh, it reflects everywhere. The poet describes her more that she has worn a silken night dress, means a silken gown, silver gown, we can call it silver gown. I have shown you a picture of a silver gown like this. So the silver gown which was wear by the uh, autumn season, and then it looks so beautiful because there are no clouds in the sky, because the clouds has passed, the clouds had clear, and that's why the scenery of the everything looks like a silver effect, and looks like very beautiful and brightened. So let's see the next line. and on her face the radiant moon. And we can see the picture, we can easily see the silvery effect which was reflect on the girls, on the season's face, on the autumn's face, that it has a silvery effect. The silken robe is white moonlight set free from cloudy bars, and on her face the radiant moon means chamakdar. Radiant का मतलब है चमकना. It's called a bright or a beam of a light. The beam of that moon, the beam of a light which was spread on the uh, autumn's face, and its bewitching smile are shown. And after the radiant light, radiant moons uh, or a effect on that face, it looks like a bewitching smiles are showing by that girl. The bewitching is enchanting or a fascinated smile which was made by that girl everywhere after that radiant moons did. So she seems a slender maid who soon. Now, we have seen in a first line that autumn is a maiden flower which was slim, and after that patjhad, after that falling of leaves, it looks like very slim, and looks like a slender maid. Maid means here, maid means a girl, and the girl was slim and beautiful, who soon will be a woman grown. But after some days, uh, after some days passing, it will be a adult, it will be a woman. That we have seen in the first stanza. Autumn is a girl, autumn is a beautiful girl. But at the end, the poet describing us that soon, or after some days, the woman, the girl, called her maid means here a beautiful girl. So the beautiful girl which will transferred in a adult, means everything which is done, which is born, will be a adult, will be a grown up. So here the poet want to say by these four lines, and on her face the radiant moon, the bewitching smiles are showing. She seems a slender maid who soon will be a woman grown. Student, radiant का mean है bright, means the brightness of the moon, and the bewitching means fascinated or enchanting. The maid is a girl here. Then grown means adult, means जब भी ये गर्ल थी उसके बाद she will be adult, she will be woman soon, she will be became a woman soon. The poet tells us about the season that the young girl's bright face or face is very bright by the moon, because the reflection of the moon showing on her face. So the poet tells us about the season that the young girl's face is bright moon, and she is fascinated to everyone by her beautiful smile. And after that moonlight, she is giving a beautiful smile, which is the smile is very fascinating, very enchanting to everyone. Everyone is attract towards that smile, towards that beautiful smile of that girl. And so the enchanting smile of that girl attracts everyone after that moonlight. So the girl, she was fascinating everyone by her beautiful smile. The poet says more about it, that as the autumn season starts, it looks like a very slim and young girl. As we see in the first stanza, while the autumn season has started, that time the season looks like slim and young girl. But after some weeks, means after some days, after some period of the season, it will be become like an adult woman. Means after 1 and 2 months, Ashwin and Kartik month has celebrated as a autumn season. So at that time, at that period, the girl which was young and unmarried will be turned into a woman, which will be changed into a adult woman. That means the beauty of autumn will fade. Means after some days the autumn will be past, and it, as it is comes to an end, and that beginning of a new season, it's called a pre-winter season or a hemant season. So the autumn will be end. After some days, after some period of a month, the girl will be become adult soon, means the season will be changed, the season will be turned into a pre-winter season, which is called a hemant season or a hemant rutu. So student, this is a nighttime scenario which is reflects in the second stanza, and in first stanza we have seen the beautiful day scenario. In the second stanza we have explained the second stanza at the night time. So thus the poet personified autumn season with a young lady, young beautiful girl, and the young beautiful girl showing us a beautiful things by her smile, by her dress she has wear. We already had seen that she has wear a beautiful dress which was made by the flowers and leaves of the and grasses of the nature. So that's why it looks like a very beautiful. So if these all things is showing us that the autumn season is really like a beautiful girl and young girl which is very slim as well as very beautiful. In first stanza it's describing like the girl was unmarried and the girl is very delicate here. But in second stanza poet indicate us at the end that the young or beautiful girl, the delicate girl, which is soon made a grown up woman, means the adult woman, which is turned in a adult woman, which turned in a adult woman. So thus the poet has personified autumn season with a young lady. Let's see the meaning of some hard words here. Maiden means a young unmarried girl, then slender means slim, the clad means being covered or a clothes, it's called wear. Greet means welcome or wish. Cooing means soft murmuring sound which is made by the birds. Glad means happy. Tinkling, tinkling means tinkle sound which is made by a anything. Here in the poem the tinkling sound is describing with a bangles or a bracelet. So diadem means crown. Multitudinous means lots of or uncountable, unnumerable. So next one is a bars. In this poem, bars means patches because the word is given to us by showing the patches of the cloud. Radiance means beam of light or a bright. We can call it bright. Then bewitching means captivating, enchanting, okay, fascinating. Bewitching का मतलब है captivating or enchanting, fascinating to another people or another person. So this is the meaning of hard word of the poem. Let's see the paraphrase. Let's see the analyze of the poem. Autumn was written by Kalidas and it was translated into English by the author William Ryder. We have seen that student, this poem has written by the Kalidas and afterward in English this poem is written in Sanskrit. Firstly this is written in Sanskrit by Kalidas and afterward it has translated by author William Ryder afterwards. In the poem the poet consider the autumn to be a young beautiful girl. The season of the autumn arrives like a graceful, beautiful and slender maiden. The beautiful lilies and the tender rice stems seems to adorn her hair. Means the lily flower has describing here like a beautiful picture of the autumn season, and also it looks like a very graceful, it looks like a slender, it looks like a slim. So the beautiful lily flower has wear on the face of that autumn season to look a more beautiful like a tender rice stems are describing here as a here of the autumn season, like a beautiful young girl, how she is nodding her hair. As the same way poet want to say here us that how the autumn season rice stems looks like a hair of a girl. She seems to have been dressed in a green grass and its flower. The autumn season has wear the beautiful dress, a beautiful green dress which is made by the grass. Means we have all know that in a monsoon season, in autumn season, there are a lots of greenery everywhere, green grass, and then there are crops which looks like a very green everywhere. So the green grass is look like the green dress of the uh, autumn season, and it has wear a small flowers on her. we already have seen the picture of autumn season. We already have experienced this season. So this is the starting of autumn season uh, from last 2 days. And in September, between September to December, it is the period of autumn season. So we can see the changes of autumn season everywhere, that the beautiful small flowers of multicolors, and the leaves also changing their color, like it makes a yellow, then some leaves had changed into brown colors, some are a parrot green color. So these changes had made by the autumn season, and it looks very beautiful. So lilies and the tender rice stems seems to adorn her here. She seems to have been dressed in a green grass, and it has a flowers on her, and it looks very beautiful due to that flowers. Her swimming movements and graceful walk are welcomed by its birds, and their happy cooing which sound like a tinkling song on a sweet bracelet. The sound, the beautiful melodious sound which is made by the uh, birds, it welcome to that beautiful girl. She has wear that beautiful dress of grass, and it has a flowers on it. So for that, while she was walking alone, while she was going from that roadside, that time the birds are welcoming by dancing, by showing happiness, by showing refreshness on her, by making a sound of tinkling, like, and it is a like a sweet bracelet sound, a tinkling sound or a queen. So at the time, at the night of time, at the night time, a beautiful crown of stars seems to adorn this beautiful lady, and it looks like more beautiful while at the night time the beautiful girl, the autumn, has wear the crown of a stars, and the stars are uncountable. It's decorated with beautiful stars, and it has uncountable. But the crown is very broad, and it shows more silvery. Her robe is a silk is made, and the gown which is weared by the autumn season, the girl, which is very silky, because the brightness of the silvery moon on reflect on her face, on her dress, and of beautiful white moonlight. This autumn maid, with her bewitching smile, and her enchanting smile, attracts everyone by showing her face, by showing the beautiful smile on her face. So it will be soon grown up to be an even more beautiful woman. So all students, this is the poet. I hope that you all have understand the line by line meaning of this poem. And we have seen that how the poet has describing us the beautiful of beautiness of the autumn season to us. And this is the comparison of a girl with the comparison of the young girl. She was unmarried, and the autumn season has wear the lilies flowers in her face. So let's overlook on what we have seen, that why the autumn season has personified with a girl. I think that you got the answer of this question, that why the autumn season is personified or compared like a young girl. Because we have seen in the first stanza that it looks like a slim young girl, and also she has wear the she has a hairs like a young girl, and it is a hairs of a green grass, which is rice streams. Then secondly, we have seen that the lily's flower, which was wear by the at autumn season or her face to beautify, to looks more beautiful, to looks more attractive. Thus in second stanza we have seen that the while the flowers, while the autumn season has walking, that time it's move, and the birds are greeting her, the birds are welcoming her by making a beautiful sound of a cooing sound, and which sounds which ring like a bracelet tinkling sound. So the birds are dancing to welcome the uh, autumn girl. Then secondly, in second stanza we have seen this, the in first stanza we have seen the day timing, and at the night time the autumn looks very beautiful, more beautiful than day timing, because it has wear the adorn, it has wear the diadem, being crown of a, and which is decorated by the stars, and there are lots of stars which are uncountable. Also the she has wear a beautiful gown which is showing us a moonlight on her, and we are we can see the picture of that girl, and the face of that girl was making very attractive by the moonlight, by the brightness of the moon. And that's why she has made, after that reflection of the moonlight on her face, she has giving us a enchanting smile. And by the enchanting smile, by the attractive smile, everyone attracts towards her, like a slim and young girl. In first stanza we have seen the autumn is a young and slim and young girl, but at the young poet want to say us that she will be soon become a young woman or adult woman. So student, I hope that you all have understand the meaning of the poem, and you can easily write the appreciation and all questions of warming up and all about the poem. Ma'am, I have completed. Hello.